Welcome back, everyone. I am going to work on the Stitch the Season. I had to stop and think. I have several projects going and I don't do that well, so I am working on it. Now, I did the flower in the last one. I've finished stitching the bird. I think I showed that to you close up, but I can't remember for sure. And since I hate listening to myself on video, yeah, I'm not going to go back and look, especially because I have several projects going at once, and like I said, I don't handle that well. So welcome to everybody, my trusty subscribers from way back, and to my new subscribers. Thanks for being here. All right, Stitch the Season with To Be Loved Treasures by Corinne. I'll try to remember to link her video series below in the description box. Look under the video in the description box. Now, I've been working on this for probably an hour trying to figure out placement for this, and I had to take a picture. And the picture's on my phone, so, and I'm recording on my phone. Let me straighten you out a little bit. I feel like you're wonky. Okay, sorry about that. Movement. Now, what I did was I tried a little experiment. I don't know if any of you are current or previous quilters, but there's a term called trapunto, T-R-A-P-U-N-T-O, trapunto. Had to pull that out of the memory bank. And I sort of did a faux version of it. Really, it's just quilting this and making it look very textured. And I don't know if you can, I don't know how well it shows up on camera. Hopefully well. And what I did was I put a little piece of batting on there and I outlined all of these flowers, and I used itty bitty teeny weeny, let me see if I can get it to focus on that, stitches. And I used the silver Coats & Clark metallic thread. This spool's going to be gone by the time I'm done with this project. And excuse me. And I don't know if the texture is showing up, but it is really very bumpy and quilted, and I love it. Now see, I don't even remember where that was. I'm going to have to go back and look at the picture. So I'm going to show you on one of these how I did that. And because this piece had these, I left some of this side pattern on this piece. I did not, I want to sew that down so this stands out more, the white poinsettia. So I'm going to show you, I think, I'm not going to do this blue one, I don't believe. I think I'll do this white one. I don't know if I'll do these two. I sort of want a couple to stand out more than the others. And then when I stitch this part down here, however I had it, when I stitch the blue part down, I think I'm going to use blue thread and just really try and stitch that with a lot of little tiny stitches so that it sort of fades into the background and this stands out even more. I'm thinking now I should have left more around these other pieces so I could do the same. However, we're just gonna go forward. So I'm going to start by pulling out a piece of a scrap piece of batting. I don't know if that one's big enough. Yeah. Let's see. Let me get a little bigger scrap. It's not like I don't have them. Oh, I'm such a chintzy person. I don't like to use something. That's perfect. Okay. And I don't try and cut it to size first. Uh-oh, shoot. Oh, look what I just did. I just cut into that fabric. Boo-hoo. Well, I'll be cutting another flower out for that. I just, see? That's why I should never do that. Okay. Set it aside, Martha. It'll be fine. You have lots more fabric. I need a sip of my green tea for this afternoon. So I have my silver thread, I have my needle with a very tiny eye on it, and I'm going to put a small-ish pin in the center and a smaller pin probably right here in this blue, because I won't be doing the blue, and that'll hopefully keep it from shifting. And you just do tiny, little teeny tiny stitches. So pull up a project, pull up a cup of tea or a good hard stiff drink if that's your choice. Some days I wish it was my choice. And it does take a lot of thread. And this thread is not bad to sew with at all. Watch, I'll get 1,000 knots and unthread my needle 1,000 times. I didn't have any problem with that one, with the first one I did. Not that one, that's the one I ripped. I mean, cut. Silly girl. It's not like I don't have more fabric. It's okay. But like I said, my fingers are not working real well today. Like I said before, a minute ago, I don't like waste. Oh, come on, Martha. It is raining to beat the band out there today. And it's not snow. A couple years ago we had snow, like a foot of snow, and lost power. So I'm just grateful it's not that. They called for the storm to be pretty big, and we're not getting the worst of it. Let's just put it that way. We are getting the rain side of it. Now, part of my problem with this is I can't really see very well. Oh my gosh, my thread is getting caught on corners and on scissors. I'm going to move everything out of my way. Right here. Hold that thought, please. Hold one moment. Gotta rearrange a few things here. All right, and I unthreaded my needle. Told you it was going to happen. Let's see if I can do this. All right. Sorry for the delay. Anyway, west of us, north of us, they're all getting slush, snow, ice. And yeah, when it happened 2 years ago, we didn't get power back until late the following day. I can't see where my previous stitches were. I hope my head is not in the camera. Where the heck? Okay. I may have to go back over those stitches again because I honestly cannot see them. And I am pulling this very tightly because I want it to pull the batting behind the fabric to give it that puffy look. And so many people, oh gosh, so many people machine quilt now that the art of hand quilting, I think, has gone out the back door. And when I was making quilts years ago, one of my past periods of quilting, my favorite part of quilting was not the math. In case you haven't been around before, I detest math. So, and quilting requires math, measuring, cutting big fabric into little fabric pieces. Why? Anyway, I love quilts. I admire people who do quilt. I've made a few, not complicated quilts, you know, sewing squares together. That's about my speed. Squares or strips. So yeah, my favorite part was sewing the binding. I would machine sew the binding on the back of the quilt. Or is it the front of the quilt? I guess the front of the quilt. And hand stitching the back of the quilt. And that's my favorite part. It always was. I tried to make my stitches real small and even. And even when I was a teenager, I would now I'm on a roll. I would hand stitch. My mother had a machine, but I would make my own purses during high school. I won't go into why I had to make my own purses, but I made my own purses from fabric I would find in the house, or an old, like a pair of pants hanging around or something. I made do, let's put it that way. And so I would do little tiny hand stitches to make sure that purse did not tear when I put stuff in it. Let me know below what you're working on. I don't think anybody else who is doing Stitch the Season watches me, except maybe Corinne, but I probably put her to sleep. I probably put you all to sleep, let's face it. It's very dark and dreary today, so I have the 2 lamps on, and I know they're casting big shadows, but I cannot help it. It is like 3:15 in the afternoon, and it is so dark outside, which makes it very dark inside. So it's been an interesting day. It's cold out there too. It was only like 33 earlier and wet. I was shocked it was not coming down as ice or snow. I guess the atmosphere is just warm enough up above us to not have it come down as snow or ice, which is good. We've lived in Virginia for quite a while. Let's see. 24. So 20, wait, 35 years, I think it is. Anyway, a long time. I was not born and raised here. Wouldn't have ever chosen to live here. Not that the Virginia is a bad place. It is not. Don't get me wrong. All right, what I try and do is I try and do the little inside ones first. So I'm going to skip over to this one. Before I stitch up higher, I want to get all of the inside ones done and pull really tight on my threads. And yeah, so, oops, I think I went up too high. I'll have to stick a stitch in between those. And there was one year that we had ice, and I got to work okay because, you know, the roads were treated and stuff, but the military post I worked on did not take care of the parking lots. And I got out of my car and literally slid on my feet to the grass because the parking lot was on a bit of a incline. That was crazy. I was glad I didn't break anything. And I went through a long period of time where I slipped and fell every single winter for years because it was either icy or snowy. I fell so many times going downstairs. There was a time in Germany that I was walking out of my husband's work. We went to pick him up, and I went in to let him know we were there. And I walked out, and the steps were cement. And going up, I didn't have any problem. 5 minutes later, I came out, and I put my foot down on that first step, like not the top step I was standing on that first step, and I went down 6 cement steps. Holy cow, let me tell you what. I was bruised for weeks. It hurt so bad. So bad. Didn't break anything, pretty sure. But yeah, that was no fun. No fun at all. And then I started riding horses and kept falling off of them too. And no, it's not a balance issue. it's a klutz issue. Ay. Just a mess. Okay. So this is what I do to get it to do this. I don't know if I'm going to do this all on camera because I'm sure you're already bored to tears. And I don't want to lose subscribers. I do want to say that this channel is about being kind to others, being respectful of others and their comments, being respectful and kind to me, please. And I want to let you know that if you're going to make a snarky comment, I will most likely delete the comment. I may get snarky back. I don't like doing that, and I was kind of in a mood last night, and I got a snarky comment, and I snarked back, but that's not what I want this channel to be about. So I will let you know that if you make a snarky comment, I'm going to delete the comment. If you don't like what I do, you're more than welcome to move on. I mean, nobody's twisting your arm to hang out here. But I do try to promote kindness and try not to, you know, bend anybody the wrong way. But, you know, not everything I do is going to be for everybody out there. I mean, you can't please all the people all the time. I can't tell you how many content creators I watch and they get such mean comments from people, and it's not necessary. If you don't have something nice to say, move on. Don't, you know, impose your crankiness on somebody else. I try not to do that here, and some days that's pretty hard because I can have some days, let me tell you. The last 3 days have been some of those days, and I did not film because I didn't want that coming across on camera. So, you know, when you got stuff going on in your life, not everything's always hunky-dory, and I know that. But don't take it out on me. Oh, gosh. So I'm going to continue to work on this, and I will come back when I am way closer to being done than this. But you can see, if you just want some handwork, I mean, I could sit and do handwork like this day in and day out. Let me zoom you in a little bit. So, yeah, I don't know if you can tell. You see how it's starting to puff up there? And it'll show more as I do the other ones. So I'll be back. Okay, something I wanted to point out, a couple of things. I'm going to zoom in, is, so I've gotten part way around. You can't really see the stitches too well on the back. And I'm not doing the blue. I'm around to here. So I have these left to do. But right now I'm going back. You can see how curly it is now compared to how flat it was when I started. Curly, textured, fluffy. right now I'm going back and I am doing the little, the center of the petals. Let's put it that way. And I did this one because I was at the end of my thread. So I did it with the little bit that was left. And really, I probably should have done those first because that would have helped the effect a little more. Gosh, Martha, I'm having a tough time seeing. I gotta go get my eyes checked again. So yeah, but the other thing is, and I'll show you in a moment here when I do this, I want to finish, finish the center of this one first. And this one, when I cut it out, it kind of fell apart up there. That there wasn't a finished petal on this one, so it's all puffy and stuff, but I did stitch around the top of it to create that. So, you know, it's fun to experiment and create other effects while you're stitching. In my opinion, it sort of stretches you. Like, it's like, what else could I do with that other than just thread paint it or just do one thing or another that you're used to doing with it or you've seen someone else do with it. Do something different, you know, give it a puffy effect, you know, whatever. Okay, so now I'm done at the top of this one. This one's already done, so I'm not going to skip over here. So I'm probably going to go this way, but that's a long stretch for the thread. And if I go right into there and start going down, what's going to happen is when I pull it, it's going to do this. It's going to pull that fabric in. So I go under the batting, but not through to the front of the fabric, over here, and I tie a knot. But as I do that, and don't pull too tight because it's still going to pull that fabric. As I do that, I am aware that I am going to be cutting this away from the outside here. I'm going to be using my real sharp scissors and cutting all this away. So you don't want to tie your knot like out here, because when you cut that away, then you're going to have a problem is what you're going to have. So I guess I'll go this way instead. But still, if I had pulled that thread, so I'll show you what I'm, well, actually, well, okay, what I can do is I can go here and I'm going to finish, I'm going to finish, lazy American language, this petal, because I'm not done with that petal anyway, and I went right up the center of it. Okay, Martha, you can do this. You can see it, I just can't get my hands to cooperate with me. Cold, rainy, arthritic equals arthritic hands. Cold, rainy weather. Although the rain sounds like it has let up. It's not snowing. No, it's let up a lot. A real heavy patch went through. And I think it's supposed to be all done by like 9 o'clock tonight, which will be nice. I don't know. It's not going to be very warm overnight, so I think it's going to be like an ice skating rink out there to drive. No fun. And we do want to go out tomorrow, but we are going to wait until it's not dangerous. If it's dangerous, we won't go out. Nothing we need that badly. I did realize that we need avocados. Should have gotten them yesterday when we were out running errands. Not yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, not yesterday. The day before yesterday. Should have realized then. that I needed them. I thought I had plenty, but if you don't buy them ahead of time, they don't ripen in time to use them. So I have to be aware of that too. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera off again. And I am going to finish this up and I'll come back to show you how I cut it. Okay, I am done. Now you can see how curly the back is. And that's the front, how wavy and curly it is. So what I'm going to do now is very carefully, hopefully I don't mess this up just because I'm on camera. Now I'm tilting my scissors in like this if I'm doing it from the front, because I don't want the batting to show when this is stitched down. So I am going to tilt my scissors in, and see, that wasn't enough. I can go back and clean it up after. And I'm just using, and I'm going to lift this up. Anywhere you can lift it up and get up underneath there is going to help. So really, if you wanted to do this, you could cut out a larger piece of fabric or leave more of the stuff you don't want on it. I don't know if that makes sense. When you're cutting out a piece of fabric and you cut a bigger border on it if you don't feel bad about wasting that fabric. I'm a chintzy person. Especially if it's a fabric I really like I can't find this fabric anywhere anymore. I mean, if I looked hard enough, I probably could find it somewhere, but it's not at Joann's anymore. They ran out of it right after I bought it, even online. So I hope, let me fix the light. It's very hard today. There's no light coming through the windows at all, as I said previously. Now the other thing you want to make sure is you're not cutting any of your stitches. But see, I wouldn't have been able to do this. Uh-oh, there's a stitch right there. I don't want to cut that stitch. Oh boy. I would not have been able to do this if I had tried to cut the batting out with the fabric before stitching it. I will say the first one I did was easier because I left way more of a background on it. And I didn't think about that when I cut these out. Excuse me. Again, I'm tilting the scissors in to try and get underneath that fabric. And trying not to cut off the part of the background fabric I actually do want to keep. Okay. I will go back over that again. And these scissors are wonderful. They're Fiskars, and they don't make my wrists hurt. So there's that. This is tricky because there's stitches I don't want to cut through. Okay. See if there's anywhere from the back. Now this is not stitched down here. So on the other one, I'm going to zoom in just a little. On the first one I did, I went like under the blue part. Very careful not to cut any stitches. Because as I said before, when I sew this blue part down, which I'll probably still either use blue or silver thread, when I stitch that down, I want it to sort of melt into the background. There. I think that's the best I can do without messing something up terribly wrong. Now, if I'm on the back of this, I'm going to tilt my scissors in this way. And these scissors, you can just take off just like these tiniest little layers. Okay, done. Now you can keep these and use them for stuffing things with, so I don't throw them away. Now, as I was doing this, let me back you out again and up a little. Okay, and there's the light. Sorry, hope that wasn't in that close-up. All right, so on these others, I'm kind of thinking I may change the order of how these go on. I might, like this one, or if I pull any more white ones, I might do either thread painting and this one. I might do thread painting and, or ribbon work. I don't think my ribbon is going to go through, so I think thread painting is going to be the way I go. I also have to cut another flower because, you know, I chopped into that one. I mean, I could use that and put it up against the edge like that. So I might do that. We'll see. I have another piece like that, this one. This one, however, when I cut it out, that looks upside down to me. But it could go up there, and I could build off of there like that, and then just play around with this until I feel like it actually fits the piece. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to be some other types of flowers. Probably, most likely, ribbon flowers. This ribbon is probably going to be too wide, but I'm going to give it a shot. But I have this white one here, and then I have silver, and I have this really pretty blue. So that'll be in the next video, and I will show you how this finishes up when I figure it out myself. So I hope you all have a beautiful day and happy crafting, and I will see you in the next one, and thank you for joining me. Bye.